Uh, Hey, good morning, everyone. Thanks for coming back. Today is let's say I'll assume it's a final session for GitHub pipelines and Git. So let me restart from where we left off. So what we are trying to do, so we are trying to do a deployment. Okay. So as in we had a dev, pre-prod and production. So we are trying to do a deployment. The use case here is static website hosting, S3. Okay. So what I did, I created three buckets. Okay. So dev, my- and this is alpha. See, I understand it's an advanced concept. So all I want to focus is on how the environment is set up. So what I'm trying to do. So there is a branches, right? So this is dev branch. This is alpha, and this is production. So every time what I'm supposed to do, I'm supposed to update these S3 files, S3 buckets. Yeah, 1 second. So every time I'm trying to update S3 bucket manually. So what I want is, so whenever I'm updating dev branch files, it should go and update my website. So whenever I'm updating production, it should go and update my lines. So this is the flow. So that I have different environments. So alpha and production. So let me test my website just in case. Okay, so this is fine. And okay, alpha, sorry, you're able to see my screen, right? By the way.
Yes, it's visible.
Yep. I'll paste the URLs here. So it's HTTP. So that's for dev, and it's for alpha, and the final one is production. So what I want is, let's say I want to make the template. Like now I have three environments, so I'll start testing. Okay. So this is how a ideal scenario looks like. So you'll have different environments. So now you'll start testing in dev once. Once that is done, it will go to alpha and then production. Okay. So what will we do? We will try to generate a template, we'll make it some little aesthetic and all. So on top, first it in dev, let's say if it is working fine, we will promote to alpha and production. Okay. So yeah, if you have anyone has GitHub account, just let me know. So I'll add it as a contributor here. So you can approve the pull request maybe.
Hi, Doctor. We are not able to hear you. I thought it was my problem, but everyone is not able to hear it seems. Maybe from the last 2-3 minutes.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me now? Is it good?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Yeah,
Okay. So what I did, I created a cafe template. I basically generated a cafe HTML content. So I created a pull request, and I asked like this my second account for review. Okay, so I'll get it approved. And so this is approved now, and yeah, one approval and merge pull request. So now what happens? It will trigger a GitHub action. Okay, so this is for piling. This is my static website. So you can go take a look what's exactly happening. So yeah, this is my pipeline. Okay. So what exactly happening? So there is a events, like the events would be like so the events can be something like this. Pull, push, pull request. Okay. So based on the events on which branch. So this it should be dev or production or something. So which branch we can specify. And workload dispatch is like a manual trigger. Whenever we want to trigger a pipeline, so we can use this one. So what we are saying on these two certain events, go and trigger the pipeline. And here I'm using the variables as an environment variables. So one is AWS region and what is my S3 bucket name and the permissions as content read. Sometimes there would be read write as well. So deploys on, so it's running on GitHub environment. So that should be like it's running on GitHub runner. That's a Ubuntu latest one. And see, this is the code block they given. As in, someone wrote this action block and they kept it as a module. So what we can do, we can provide the AWS credentials, see AWS secret and AWS access. 1 second, please. Yeah. Yeah, I'll add users. So I know this might be sounding like little too advanced for you, but what you can remember is so just a credentials and a values. That's it. So and the end, what we are doing, we are copying the files to S3, AWS S3 sync, and we are making sure if the files are copied or not. So it's a simple pipeline, and where we'll keep the credentials in the settings. Yeah, here it is. The repository credentials, AWS access ID, and Yuki ID. So like we gonna discuss Jenkins in depth in the later part. So that time we can come back to the CACD one more time. So as I told, see this is all deployment. Okay. So like right now you're looking in the CI how it can help in the next part as in deployment. So the deployments can be of multiple types. So for static website, okay, or something like a dynamic website. I'll not go now because it needs a larger setup. Uh, One would be a Docker push and Terraform code. and another would be EKS. Okay. And other than this, we have something called GitOps, where whenever your changes are coming to code, right, the GitHub code, so the changes would be automatically pulled into your K8s environment. So that's GitOps, so which is bit advanced. So what we'll do, we'll go for static website today, and we'll also see how the Docker thing works. So that will give you an overview, okay, how the things works in pipeline as a basic one. So when we go step by step, like, so when we are learning everything, so I'll give you pipelines and all, how to set it up. So we'll have a full idea. So coming back, so this is what it's doing. Sync completed, verifying contents. Okay. What we are looking for is how much time it took. Okay, so 1 second, 1 second, 0 second. So this whole thing took 8 seconds to execute. Okay, so why I am counting the time is, okay. So what happens? The GitHub people, they are running their agents. They're spinning their agents and they're running it for 8 minutes. So which is billable. So since it is a public website, like they are not able, they won't charge anything. But let's say if we are trying to go for enterprise and in a company level, when we are trying to use GitHub Actions, so which we need to consider that, okay, I gonna charge based on the how many minutes I gonna run, okay, and how many pipelines I'm running and how many minutes I gonna run. So every month there will be a limit, like 1 hour or this much and all, like maybe 100 hours or like 5 hours or something. So after that, you will get more charges. Okay. So that would be here. Yeah. Yeah. This is the one in the billing. So this is what it's saying. Current metered usage is $0.9, but it's all, yeah, you see, 2000 minutes free included. So I didn't use their whatever the minutes it is. And the usage, it is $0.18. So based on the pipeline run ID. Okay. So since it is a public one, I don't need to worry about it, the public repo. But let's say if you're trying to set it up in your own private repo and when you're trying to use a pipeline, so you need to consider this. Okay. There is some billing amount associated with it. Okay. This is all managed pipelines, these GitHub actions. So we'll come to like our own thing. So let me close the website. So the first one is dev. So we'll go into dev bucket. So if you see, the changes happened at 10:44. Uh, we'll go and check our dev website. Okay. I'm just double checking. For some reason, the file is not updated. Okay, my bad. I have a issue here. Second. I'll delete it. It should be inside. This is the file. So under the my side. So I didn't do it properly. So let me do it. So as I made one mistake, so every change will go and trigger a pipeline. So I mean, we'll go via pipeline. Okay. So I'm just for now I'm just passing through. Okay. Okay. I'll just verify it again. Yeah, I can see this is updated. So I'll try to open it again. Yeah. So my dev website is up. So my dev environment is looking good now. So what will I do? I'll promote to production. So it will be like a new pull request. Alpha from dev to alpha. So yeah, I have a question here. So how do you think these commits looks like? Like, see, there are 17 commits and 7 changes were done, right? So I'm pushing from dev to alpha. So will whole this content will go as a single commit or it will go as a 17 commits when I do the pull request?
Single commit.
Yeah, that's correct. Single commit because it will make sure the changes are looking like a single one. Okay. So that is called stashing the commit. So it will show here. Let me through the pull request. Okay, so my pull request is approved. Uh, all checks are passing. So now I'll do the merge. Okay, so it should look for my alpha website. And yeah, I'll wait for some time. Yeah, so now my alpha website is up. So I'll do the same thing. I'll promote to production in the similar way. Okay. So here I'll select the target branch as production and paste it. Yeah, I think so. Suresh, I'll give you a request if you want. You can, approve it.
Sure, Dutta.
Okay. Let me see. So this is called squashing. So let's say you have some 10 commits and all when you're doing in dev. So you have all the 18 commits or something. So the what squashing does is the it will clean up all the commit history. It will make sure it looks as a single commit when you make the change. Okay. So let me go back. And if you see the alpha, right? Yeah, it will just look one commit ID. That's it. Okay. Okay, let me check my production if the production code is up. Yeah, I should have renamed it properly. Yeah, this is the production one. Okay, so let me double check if the production one got updated or not. So this is my bucket. Yeah, 1110. So I'll do a refresh. Yeah, so there is a reason it's HTTP that we will go through when we are going through CloudFront and all, or the certificates thing. So yeah, this is what how the branching strategy works. Like you take any environment, so this is how it looks like. The next part I'll just show Trivy how we'll scan the Docker repositories. So any questions till now?
So earlier it didn't work, right? Now it worked after updating the index HTML in my site directory.
That's because in the work. So what I did, all the HTML pages I kept in one folder. Okay, which I'm
Mm.
supposed to take it from there. See, this is taking from my site. Okay.
Okay.
So I didn't keep the index file properly. Now it's looking good.
Okay. So in
Yeah, is it?
S3 it will just be a single index.html file, or in S3 also we'll have the folder and all.
So S3, how it takes is so as I told, we'll go in depth when we are discussing S3.
Yeah.
So there is something called S3 static hosting. So if we take, so yeah, the index page is here. So
Okay.
either we can specify index.html or PHP, whatever your static site is. So it will take from your root folder. It won't work with subdirectories.
Okay.
Yeah, there
So
is no
is it
folders in
possible to upload
the.
multiple files also in S3?
Yeah, you can upload multiple files. Like
Mm.
so, this pipeline it will copy everything from your folder to there. So I didn't kept any Java files or JavaScript or CSS, but if I can keep that also will go through here.
Okay.
Yeah. So this might look little inconvenience every time we are sending pull request and they are getting approved and all, but still we are supposed to go through that. So that's it. Yeah, I'll create one more thing for Docker. So I'm going to use the same repository. So what I'll do, this is my Docker file, right? So images, I'll say. Okay. So here I'll write Docker file. So yeah, I'm starting Docker as in I'm not starting a Docker. So as I told, the deployments can be of type anything. So multiple deployment types. So what I'm asking you to focus right now is how the code integration is going and how we are sending our changes to production. So the deployment part we will discuss. Like when we are going through each thing, we will discuss. So is it okay to go ahead, or you have any doubts? Whatever we discussed today. Yeah. Okay. Shall I go ahead then? Is that okay? Yeah. Thank you. So I'll use the same thing. So here I'll git, git stash, git checkout dev, git pull. So I'm writing a sample Docker file. So for people who are not aware, so as I told, let's focus on the Trivy part. Okay. So we are writing a container. So we are trying to do a scan. So I'm supposed to set up a pipeline also. So we'll go through that. I might have some template somewhere. I'm just looking for that. Yeah. So I have one template already. So I'll try to use this. So here I can create a new workflow. So here I'll search for any ECS, ECR. Okay. So we have Docker. Let me take that. So this is what it is. Build the Docker image. So So I'm writing only for something like dev branch for now, and it should be ECR. So it's the same thing. So all the credentials and all, it will take it from here. So here the login function will happen. So if you're wondering what is this actions, right? So if you go to, yeah, yeah, this is what all the tasks are. Like whatever the common tasks are there, they wrote it. Let's say something like you want to run ls command, or you want to run something like any Linux command or any other thing. So you can do with ls and same thing. So let me run one. Let me add a sample command there. Add, so log into EC. So before the build, I'll add a sample. It's for artist. So here the build happens. So it's also just a Linux command. So docker build -t, and we are trying to push the image. So image tag and all these details I kept in here in the variables. Let me see. Is your repository, okay, close, commit. So this is the Docker pipeline. Since we pushed everything to one, we are having an issue. So Docker password is not masked, and okay, it's not addressed to perform resource because okay. Let me update my. So I'll do a rerun jobs again. Yeah, the login worked and build failed to read Docker file. No such file or directory. Okay, so maybe I might need to adjust. So here it is. It's in image folder. So I'll update it. I'm updating the name properly. I think for some reason it's not picking up the file from the folder. Uh, that's because the way the image is. Okay, I'll take a different code. So this is the first time I'm doing the setup after a long time. That's why I'm getting many issues. So I'll go and check whether it's came or not. Okay. So you see here. So this is my repository, and yeah, if you see, so there was a new image created from the build we did. Okay. So that's how a Docker pipeline is working. So as I told, we are trying to include Trivy here. Okay. So so we will try to find if there is any tree already available. Okay. So new workflow. Yeah. Okay. So it's on three branches. So I'll focus on only one branch. I don't want pull request. And this is a cron job. Like this is a schedule. So what happens is, let's say if I enable this, right? So every like whatever the timing we specify, right? So it will go ahead and you do the it will execute the image again. So like it's a scheduled pipeline execution. So something like feature in Jenkins. So we can include in the GitHub also. So what I'm doing, I'm removing the branches. Okay, I don't want schedule for now. So slash images. So here it is. It's running a Trivy scanner. So what do you mean by Trivy scanner? So we can go and scan the particular image if there is any vulnerabilities and all. So if there is a critical or high vulnerability, uh, based on that we can go ahead and further we can push it. If the vulnerabilities are like very less, we can go ahead. If the vulnerabilities are more high, we can go ahead and stop. Okay. we might want to reintegrate our other that pipeline and this one. Okay, so let me do that. So I'll include this Trivy scanner block here. Emissions. And, there is a Trivy scanner block. Yeah, I understand we are closing to the time. So yeah, like I'll try to close with this one. Okay. So Trivy is like a security vulnerability assessment tool for the Dockers. For Docker, like it can scan with the Docker images and Docker files and all. So yeah, this is how we can search like Docker image or Docker scan, or we can check for the Kubernetes cluster also. Right now, we are trying to check it for Docker file. Okay, so this should be here. So here we wrote a exit block one. If the severity is high or critical, we should have a exit code. Okay, or we can take the result of a previous step and we can go ahead further. Okay, so that also can happen. Some command got failed here. Review with optional image a local file system. Yeah, this would be one second. I'll try to set it up if I can set it locally.
I think Sissy, we can scan image directly, right?
Can it work with AWS?
Don't know exactly, but if you use Trivy scan and image Docker image ID, then it will automatically scan the Docker image.
Okay, I was trying to scan the Docker file. Okay,
Okay, okay.
so like before uploading itself. Okay, so
Yeah,
either
yeah.
we can, yeah, just a second. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, like this, right, Prasad? Once it is pushed.
1 second.
This particular one. Let me commit it. Yeah, this is the one I wrote. Like, so maybe after pushing, we can scan the image, right? So that's the part I wrote.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. Well, let me. Yeah, looks like. Yeah, it did scan. Could not parse reference. Okay. So looks like it's unable to match with the AWS ECR. So let me retry it again. Yeah. Maybe I'll try to make this one public. Correct. Okay. Okay, public. Yeah, for now I'll give it a try with public. Not works. So I'll go to this one and I'm opening my pipeline one more time. Yeah, now I'm trying to change the now I'm trying to change the bucket name, the image name. So what exactly is the problem? This is fixed. Let's see one more time.
I think it's not replacing that environment variable. It's the $ECR repository should be replaced, right? Maybe.
Uh, yeah, man. Oh, yeah, my bad. Let me put the registry name manually.
Mhm.
Yeah, so here I'm supposed to give the envs. I'm using any envs, right? So mm, let me put it simply. Yeah. Okay, so our pipeline pass, it's not able to find any vulnerabilities, okay, high or zero. So what we can do, for testing purpose, we can try vulnerable Docker, okay. Uh, Trivy, so now I'm trying to insert my, intentionally a vulnerable image, which was is a old one. So go here. So instead of latest, I'll pick an old image. Okay. So okay, so as I told, we are using overload image. So there is a OpenSSL vulnerability. So that's the reason it is a critical vulnerability. So it found two vulnerabilities. So that's the reason it failed. So basically, so this is what happens. Like let's say when you are doing in dev, like if your pipeline got failed, so you cannot promote it to production. So this is the ideal scenario where we are using Git and GitHub Actions. So can we do the same thing with Bitbucket pipelines or GitLab? Yes, we can do. Only one topic is pending here. One is how to deal with the commit IDs, and there is something called there is something called cherry pick. So that is one thing, and rollback, and these are very basic items. So maybe in the next session, I'll take a small session as part of that. And I'm thinking maybe I can start with Docker or Nginx in the next part. So which one you suggest? Like, so we did with yeah. Wait. So yeah, like we did Linux, we did basic networking. we completed like web applications development, like as in how static and dynamic things works. So if people want, I can cover databases as a basics. Then we covered Git. Like we are going in depth for the Git. What and all things will be there. So which one I'm supposed to start next? Like, is it should I start with AWS or should I start with a Docker or something? So which one you think of?
Docker.
Docker, right? Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. But in order to learn about a Docker, so you'll come back to the web applications again. So like you might need to deal with multiple things like so how a database works. That I think you might need a brush up. So as in like yeah. So maybe you need a brush up. So how database works and how a dynamic website interacts with one another. So those two things you might need a basic. Once it is done, yeah, I can start a basics for Docker, and also I'll try to cover. There is a cryo as in the CTL, right? So this one. Yeah, container runtime. So nowadays, now it's getting replaced with CRA, CTL. So that is one thing. Maybe once that is done, I can take a session about Jenkins. Like, so if you are interested, we can take a session about Jenkins, or we can directly jump to AWS or something. So either way is fine. So that's up to you. I'll let you know in the group, like the Discord group, right? So I'll let you know. Yeah. Any questions? Whatever we discussed till now. Yeah, merge. Yeah, hi Monica. So yeah, sure. In the next session, yes, I'll try to cover we covered merge earlier in the earlier session, merge configs. I'll try to cover in the next session. Is it a readily available GitHub template? I'm not sure for which one you asked Suresh, but whatever things I
Trivy.
showed, right? The repo is a public one. You can try to pick it up, or you can use any GPT to generate the template. So that's okay. Yeah, Suresh, you are saying something.
I asked about Trivy.
Which one?
Trivy.
Trivy,
For
right? Yeah,
Docker
Trivy.
environment.
See, all these things, whatever we are doing, I'm not setting any EC2 machines or anything. Like it's a ready-made thing. Like it's spinning up here. Okay. Even for so it's a ready-made thing. I don't need to do anything. So Trivy template is available here, or you can pick it up from their website. So that should be fine. Yeah. Any questions? Whatever we discussed till now. Okay. Yeah. Then I'll conclude it here. Then. Thank you, guys.